Ah, good. The old girl is back. She's a nuisance at times, that one, but in the end, I suppose I'm too fond of her to do much else with her. Thanks for doing that, but I suppose I owe you the real thanks to that writ I found, don't I?
It's been a foul day, it has.
These stones will do nicely for my fences. Never thought I'd find the time to gather them up, but it seems things are changing a bit for me since finding that old writ. So 2 down, 1 to go. So off to Hobbiton next. Let's mount up. And we might as well, while we're over there, pick up all the quests that are down near the stable master, because I'm sure we'll end up running around at some point to do them all. Might as well get them in our quest tracker now. So yeah, loads of nosy hobbits and hungry hobbits on the road. If you're ever delivering mail or pies, stay off the road. We've unlocked the stable master, so I think the first quest to give her is going to be inside the Ivy Bush Inn. So most of the Hobbit settlements will have a tavern of some description.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
So if you've ever done any of the festival quests, there is a pub crawl around the Shire to do them all. Welcome to Hobbiton, Silry. It is always nice to see new folk, and I think it's important to strengthen the bonds of friendship. I think you should call on Bounder Chubb in Needlehole and see if he has any work that needs doing. Needlehole has become such a busy place that it may require its own sheriff soon. Needlehole is due north of Mickle Delving, some distance past Little Delving, northwest of here. Don't be surprised if you find some dwarves there. Needlehole is on the road to Ered Luin, and we've had more dwarf traders coming through that way of late. You'll probably find Bounder Chubb on duty near the entrance to town. So that's a second vector quest we've got to Needlehole now. But otherwise, we can ignore that because we'll pretty much automatically complete that whenever we go in that direction. So next, I can't remember. I think you wanted to go to Overhill, wasn't it?
Might I speak with you a moment?
So we won't do you just yet. Holly Hornblower is the mistress that gives us all the bloody pies to deliver.
Could I take a moment of your time?
You want to send us to the Green Dragons. That's not too far. So the Green Dragon is in Bywater, just to the east. That's not too bad.
Might I have a word with you?
Just who I wanted to see. I've got something very important for the likes of you. I'm up to my ears in people wanting my pies. Now, I'm not complaining. It's good that people love my pies. But I've not the time to deliver them. Right now, I've got one that simply has to be taken to the Green Dragon. Would you take it there? The pie is calling on the table over there. Take it to Gerd Whitfoot, southeast of here in Bywater, and be quick about it. I'm known for delivering hot pies, and if it calls too much, I won't get paid. Also, don't let any hungry hobbits catch a whiff of the pie, or they'll be over here pestering me for a slice, and I don't have time for that either. So something I've just thought of while I was reading that I've never really considered before, is that basically we're just like Just Eat or Uber Eats or Deliveroo or whatever. Take your pick of delivery apps from wherever you're from. We're basically just one of them for the Shire. I didn't actually pick up the pie. I'm just running speed running to the Green Dragon. Got halfway there before I realised, hang on a minute, I'm on a horse, and that ain't right. There we go. Right, take 2. Pick up the pie, and like the mail, we are going to get a bit of lag interrupted me. Take 3. There we go. So we will get a run speed buff. So it sets our run speed to 120%. Hot pie coming through. So this one's fairly easy. If I remember correctly, there's just one we need to avoid just as we're coming into Bywater proper. So we can just pretty much take this road direct. Just keep an eye on the mini-map for any little eyeball symbols. There's some more quest givers down here. Or maybe there isn't one. So, what are we doing? Gerd Whitfoot. There he is, right in front of the Green Dragon. Thanks, friend. It smells a bit odd, though. That's probably gone off. So we can talk to Holly Hornblower. But while I'm here, I'm going to go inside the Green Dragon. Because he's got a quest ring for me.
Might I have a word with you?
Well, I suppose you'd like a mug of our justly famous Green Dragon's Breath beer. Well, we've plenty to spare, but I say I've heard of you around the Shire. They say you're good at solving problems. Well, I've got a little problem of my own. The annual 4 Farthings brewing moot is coming up, and old Gerd wants to enter some of our special reserve in the judging. But the thing of it is, for the special Gerd uses old barrels from Erid Luin that the dwarves used for brandy. Every year, a dwarf merchant he knows delivers a barrel. This year, though, it seems the poor fellow was waylaid by huge beastly spiders near Overhill, and in his hurry to get away, he lost the barrel from his wagon. I wonder if you can head up to Overhill and look to the northwest of town for the barrel. It would mean a lot to Gerd to enter the judging with his best beer. So grab that. That'll probably be one we end up doing a lot later. So that's all the way up there. Now, I don't know why his little dwarf friend is over there and lost the barrel in the hills, because they would have come along this road from Needlehole and theoretically gone through Waymeet and then east. Nowhere near here, because they would have had to go through the marshes, up into the hills again, and get lost. So, he's up there for plot reasons. So let's mount back up, head back across to Hobbiton. But for some of the questing, you might hear places referred to as Hobbiton by water. Just because the two towns are very close together, but Hobbiton is kind of everywhere, slightly north and slightly south of the bridge by Hobbiton and the Stablemaster. Bywater is out kind of off to the east, which is its own little separate town. Where are we going? I've got lost now. You're behind, aren't you? There we are.
What do you need?
Smelled a bit off, he says. That Gerd Whitfoot couldn't smell a pig farm if he was in the middle of it. Anyway, there's another pie that needs to be delivered, and the one waiting for this pie isn't quite so friendly as Gerd over in Bywater.
Please, stay a moment.
It's for Lobelia, so that's fine, because we need to go over that way anyway. Lobelia Sackville-Baggins has been fussing and bothering everyone about this party of hers for a while now, but evidently that wasn't enough for her, so she's brought on another hobbit, Opal Goodbody, to help her. Poor Opal has been so harried by Lobelia that she's snapping at everyone. She's been after me for a pie, but being not too fond of Lobelia, I've put it off. But I couldn't put it off any longer, so today I made the pie she's been after. The pie is calling on the table over there. Take it up to Opal at the party field, but remember, even though this pie is for Lobelia, it must be hot when you deliver it. Keep it away from those hungry hobbits. I don't want them pestering me. Lost Shire Hobbit. Classic bow. Opens map, gets lost. Yep. Classic me. So, make sure it has picked up the pie this time. So, our first hobbit we've got to sneak past is literally just this side of the bridge. So, we might need to get a little bit tactical. I think they're actually turning around already. Maybe. Oh, actually, no. I think you're just passing. Yeah, I think you just crossed the road sideways. So if I give it extra wide... Are you kidding me? That close? That's bullshit. I was nowhere near you. Okay. We're going to have to cross the bridge elsewhere. If we can't cross the bridge, we might need to cross further east, perhaps, in the shallows. I don't know if I could do that on foot. Right. That's not going to be enough, is it? No. I'll have to go all the way over there to that bridge then, I think. Just to be on the safe side. Bridge to the right near the fishing area. Yeah. It's that one over there. Alright, let's pick that quest up again. We're going over here. So that's a bit annoying because it's right out our way.
Might I speak with you a moment?
I swear that hobbit's got better noses than the rest of them do. Right, so this time... Oops. Let's go east. I don't think there's any hobbits over near this bridge. Fires out, this game is very hard. I would say it's not that hard. There might be bits of it that are hard, particularly for solo players. The earlier content tends to be fairly easy these days. Unless you're religious about trying to get to level 20 unscathed without dying for your deed. And sometimes you might... Ah! What is going on? What is going on there? I was rubber banding horrifically. Are we satisfied I'm on the bridge this time? I don't want to walk in the water. There we go. Right. Pay attention to the minimap. Yeah, some of the content's easier than others, and there's also, since I stopped playing, they did add some degree of difficulty options in the options somewhere, which is probably something I should have a look at. Where you can kind of nerf yourself a bit, I think. But given that was introduced at a time where I was having a bit of a break from the game, I haven't really had a chance to kind of dabble with that. So it's looking good so far. No one's around. This is the main road on the other side of the bridge. This is the party area. Now I need to go over here at some point and get some feed for Rocco or whatever his name was. No sign of any other hungry hobbits. So she should be at the back here by the ovens. There she is, Opal Goodbody. And I'm actually running pretty low on my timer, so in the nick of time. She's going to taste test it. Difficulty options are only on legendary servers at the moment, I believe. Maybe only on Tree and Shadow. Let's have a look. I have no idea where it would be though. Combat options? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is only on the legendaries. Could well be. Like I say, I haven't really dabbled in this. Anyway, let's mount back up. Let's go up to Bag End because I do need to speak to Lobelia for the prologue quest. Because I don't know where it's going to send us after her. Up we go. So she's trying to take ownership of Bag End since Bilbo's long since gone off and Frodo's now gone off to Bree and God knows where. It's a quest pickup in the starter areas and you can't remember the NPC name. Well, I'm not going to know it, that's for sure.
I want a word with you.
So this is a new quest. You there! Yes, I mean you! Come over here. I've work for you. I simply must have fireworks for my birthday party. More and brighter than Mad Bilbo ever had. I hear that Hyacinth Took over in Tuckborough has learned to make them, no doubt from that queer Gandalf fellow. You go over there and tell her that I want a dozen large crates of her best fireworks. She lives west of the Great Smiles. Of course, I'll pay you if you insist. What a nuisance. I thought Bounders, or whatever you are, were supposed to do for us Shire folk out of duty. So yeah, she thinks I'm her slave, basically.
Can't a body be left alone?
And then this is the next step of our prologue quest. So, I heard about the troubles my nephew Mundo went through in Breeland. I assume you're here with old Flower Dumpling's coin purse to repay us for Mundo's hardship. You're not? What is this nonsense? Whitfoot doesn't have an ounce of sense in that fat head of his. It doesn't surprise me that it didn't have the courage to come and tell me this himself, but he'll regret it. I'll go to Mickle Delving to see him personally and tell him in no uncertain terms what I think of him. What use is he as mayor anyway? And what use are the Bounders for that matter? My nephew has gone through so much, and he was barely outside the bounds. So he was completely outside the bounds of the Shire, given that he was about 2/3 of the way across Breeland as well while we're at it. Why do we even need a mayor? Or Bounders or sheriffs, if they can't keep my nephew from being threatened and abducted and put through all kinds of hardship? The Sackville-Bagginses are a very important family in these parts. I've heard that there are goblins on the edges of the Shire. Goblins. If you ask me, you should stop running pointless errands for our fat mare and do something about them. So she's basically going full Nigel Farage now, if you know who he is. And if you do, I'm sorry. I've heard that Wilcom Tunley, the quarry supervisor in Scary, has seen goblins on the greenfields. Talk to him and get to the bottom of this, Silry. Goblins. So yeah, they're coming across in dinghies from Evendon. So, right, where are we going? Now back up. So we need to get the sack of feed. It should be somewhere south of the party tree. Somewhere near Gaffer-Gamgee's house. So I don't know whether Ted Sandyman is one of his neighbours or whether he's in the farm field downstairs. There we go. We've got Gaffer-Gamgee. So this is Samwise's dad. Effectively Bilbo's gardener. So he lives in one of these houses underneath the party tree at the bottom of the hill. As does a couple of his neighbours who, if memory serves, we don't know who lives there. Because I was having a look at Fellowship of the Ring recently, kind of going through the first chapter, but I don't think they actually name who lives there. So, Fallen Apples.
Hi there. Give me a moment.
You're new, aren't you? There's work that needs doing, but I can't do it myself. I should be gardening over at Bag End, but Mr. Lofo now, he says he and his bar don't need my services no more. Me has worked the land for Mr. Bilbo and Mr. Frodo. The apples in that there orchard are going to rot there on the ground unless someone gathers them. Why don't you head over and see if they're still any good? Those Sackville-Bagginses mustn't want common folk like me on their land, but there's naught they can do, eh? The orchard is just up that hill to the northwest. And the bag of feed. Now, is this going to be an induction? Please don't. Damn it. I knew it. Well, right, we're running this back then to the south. So at least we don't have to worry about any nosy or hungry hobbits. Oh, there's Ted Sandyman there. So I think I remember, yeah, doesn't he own the mill? I think we've got a couple of other things to do while we get back to Tookland as well. Damn it, we can't talk to Holly Hornblower on the way past, given that we need to tell her that we've delivered her pie. So we'll have to do that on the way back as well. Did spend my trait point, didn't I? Yeah. So up the hill, running up the hill while carrying a big sack. Getting in now our daily steps. Hop the fence. Should probably clear out all this loot as well. John Bastian, Ted Sandyman plays a major part in the scouring of the Shire, I believe. It's been ages since I've read the books. And obviously they didn't do the scouring of the Shire in the movies, so I cannot remember for the life of me.
Might I speak with you a moment?
I suppose you've done enough for me, although I'm going to miss the extra help around the farm here. And old Sally seems to have taken a liking to you, although that could just be because you brought her feed. Here's the copy of the writ I found in my mum's things. Take it over to Keeper Brot Foxtail at the Mavum House in Mickle Delving, and make sure you don't let that Adelard Took have it. I don't want it near his collection. So there we go, he's happy. We need to speak to Hyacinth Took. Is she in the Smiles? No, she's outside, I think. So up and over.
Hello.
Oh really? Fireworks for Lobelia Sackville-Baggins, is it? I'm almost happy to be able to tell you that I'm out of both fireworks and the ingredients to make them. The truth is, I made up a whole batch recently, but it was stolen, and the Bounders haven't been much help getting it back, begging your pardon. If Lobelia really wants the fireworks for her party, there will be a lot of purchases she has to make. There's charcoal, saltpeter, brimstone, and iron filings to buy, among other things. So you go back to Lobelia and make sure she's willing to pay for all this. If she still wants them, come back here and I'll lay out all the things you need to do. So basically tell her to cough up. Keepy, I vaguely remember Sandyman being the miller, but I think Ted is the son. I can't remember anything about the scouring, unfortunately. So yeah, it's quite possible there are more of them.